RebelDragon95. Welcome to Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD. And this is Mortag. He's never really played this game before, but you know.
Well, I'm an obsessive Kingdom Hearts fan, I would say, but I've never speedrun Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So I'm playing NG+. What NG+ does in this game is it carries over your Dream Eaters from the previous save file. Turn off vibration, turn off stop files for no reason. So, Paz, you ready on time? So, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so welcome to some DDD. So I'm going to skip a few cutscenes. I'm going to try and skip them in black, because that means I actually pause at the right time. And whenever one of those comes up, that's a tutorial. This is the only game I've ever speedrun that teaches you mash circle after you've skipped a cutscene, because otherwise you go into extra cutscenes and tutorial screens. This is the fight of Ursula. I'm just going to kind of just swing at her and she'll die eventually. She has a grab move that she can do, which is kind of annoying, but I can kind of just go ham on it. I just have to make sure I don't use the poisons in my deck, because the poisons, the potions, because I need to sell them. And freeze. 45. That's actually a very good Ursula.
Nice.
So that fight's kind of completely dependent on what attack she decides to go for. So, you know. Sorry, I might cough. I've got a bit of a cough. Yep, so that's telling us about all this stuff that, honestly, I don't care about. Cool, so this is a kind of the gummy missions of this game. This is a dive. So, usually gummy missions and stuff don't matter too much in KH games. In this game, it matters quite a lot, because you get a Keyblade in this game for A ranking all the dives. Hopefully I get the A rank, because I missed one of the things I usually grab, but whatever. I'll grab that one instead. 1, 2. Over there. 1, 2. That's fine. I'm going to go down here, grab that guy. Grab all them. Grab all that. Oh, this might B rank now, which will be really annoying. If it B ranks, I'll repeat it later, or I'll decide if I want to do it. But that should be fine for the A rank. So for A ranks in this game, you have to get enough points and enough time. Not enough time. You have to be under a certain time and have enough points. That should get it. Hopefully. Yeah, I got it. That's fine.
Oh,
that's
nice.
fine. That's fine. That one's the worst one to fail, because you're just like really in the first minute of the game.
They actually get quite tricky later on.
Yeah.
Casually, I didn't A rank.
You lose approximately a minute by not A ranking all of them as Asura. You lose like 3 is really good.
I had no idea you got a Keyblade from A rank.
Yeah, dude, you get a Keyblade from doing all of them. It's got the highest strength that we can get the highest magic stat that we can get in the speedrun. Right, so this is something cool that we can do in this game. So I actually went into that tutorial. Usually we don't go into tutorials, but I go into this one. So I skip through the tutorial stuff, and then I can just leave. And the game goes, okay, cool, you beat the fight.
Fair enough.
I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 version, if you're on the platform.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's why it's so fast.
Yeah, so now this is teaching me about Dream Eaters. So it forces me to make a Meow Wow, which is a hamster thing. They get blue eyes. Oh, cool. So in a new game run where you don't have the Dream Eaters from a previous save file, blue eyes is actually the best one, because every single Dream Eater has a specific trait about it. It's disposition, and the disposition determines what abilities it'll have. And on Meow Wow, you get a magic boost from having blue eyes, which is Smart Cookie, I think it is, off the top of my head. I don't know new game too well in this game, so yeah, I'm just poking this hamster in the head for a couple of minutes.
Speedrun gameplay, right? Pet the dog.
I'm not petting it, I'm poking it.
Okay.
And then eventually it goes, oh cool, you got enough points.
Yeah, cool, that's good. Are we going to see any Pokemon battles?
Definitely. I'm not going to Flick Rush, dude. Yes, the speed run goes into Flick Rush. Right, so now I haven't touched on flow motion. So in this game, you can dodge into walls or go into walls, and then you can bounce off of it. And you can bounce between walls, jump off walls, and the movement in this game is like the best part of running this game because you get to do so much with it. Alright, so yeah, let's do this dive as Riku. Riku's dive is a lot easier to not like mess up because he only needs 300 points, and basically you always get the right amount of points for the rank that you need. Right, so these guys, I delay a little bit, then I kill all 3 of them, grab all the points. This guy I delay a little bit, then go through it. So this one I don't dash through, I wait for them to go past me, and then I start dashing. And then I grab that one by going right underneath it, which is actually kind of tight to nab that one. So yeah, so these are very important, and there's actually like optimal routes for them, and we've routed out like the score routes and things that we need for it. So because I grabbed all the stuff I grabbed, I don't need to grab that big one there, because that's just wasting time. And I move out the way of those things so I don't get launched towards them and potentially like bonk off of them. And there's your A rank.
Nice, nice.
Right, so Riku goes straight into one piece of movement, and then I get to make another Dream Eater. Oh god, thank you. He gets to make a Komori bat. So so this is another thing in like a new game run. In a new game run, the main reason why I run NG Plus is because new game. This is a reset point, because if you don't get blue eyes here, then you have to reset. Yeah, I got it here. So, you know, you have to get good RNG on both of the Dream Eaters. That's one of the reasons why NG Plus is just more fun to run.
So that's just guaranteed that we get blue eyes?
No. No.
Oh, not guaranteed?
It's not guaranteed at all. That's random. So you have to get blue eyes on both of them, which is random. They have,
right.
They have like 3 or 4 dispositions.
Even on New Game Plus or on New Game?
Yeah, and on both.
Oh, right,
they're just random each time. Oh, I can crit out that fight as well.
Nice.
Yeah, there is actually a kind of RNG manip for the Meow Wow to always have blue eyes by finishing Ursula in a specific way, but I don't know how to do that, so... Alright, so that's the ground pound you can do in flow motion. That's the only time you're going to see me do it, really.
Oh, casually, I did that move all the time.
Yeah, I don't really use it too much. So now, I'm going to pick up some chests, and I pick up some chests because I need to sell a bunch of things at the end of this segment. So while I'm moving on to where I need to go, I'm going to be picking up some chests. So next I'm going into the post office, which is a new place I added in DDD. So we get to go underground into the post office.
Yeah, this area is great with flow motions.
Oh yeah.
Really tall. And
right, so a little speed tech thing that a lot of people, even runners, sometimes forget about. You get a cutscene, a non-skippable cutscene if you drop down to the floor here. So I'm gonna avoid dropping down there. Oh, and also one thing, when I'm falling, I'm gonna try and fall in slow motion because you fall a lot faster when you're in flow motion. Also, I bounced off that wall there because you can't enter doors while in flow motion, so I bounced off the door so I can go straight. I bounced off the wall so I can go straight into the door. Also, this is one of my favorite songs in the entire game. I don't even care about resetting in this game just because I get to listen to Travis Town more. Yeah,
Travis Town is some of the best music in Kingdom Hearts.
Too bad the battle theme isn't as good as just the chilling theme, but you know.
Yeah, so kind of the basic story of what we're doing is we're going to be going through like 2 alternate universes, one with Sora and one in Riku. Basically going through every world as both. Yeah,
they go through the same worlds but parallel versions of each other. So like one example, in Pranks' Paradise, which is a world later, Riku goes into Monstro, but Sora goes to the island that the boys go to in the film where they get turned into donkeys. Because, you know, you got to know that Pinocchio lore.
Yeah, yeah. They're both going to Pinocchio world, but it's slightly different things happen.
Right. Oh, God. I've never done that before. Flow motion is kind of wacky because you can dodge near something and it'll pick it up. Right, so everything in my inventory I'm going to sell because I don't need any of it. It's all useless. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell them. There is. So I buy water barrels here. Oh god, that's the wrong thing. That's fine. Change spirits. Grab him, grab him, grab him. So yeah. So now I get to play some mini games. Okay, that's fine. I got it in there. So I'm looking for 20s on all these juggle pops because that gets me a balloon route for free. The one change between the 3DS version and the PS4 version is on the 3DS you had to sit through those mini games. On I didn't get it. On the PS4 version you can just quit out and you still get some points. So we just use more. We just use more water barrels and then we just use more water barrels and then just kind of spend more money on them. So it's fine. We just quit out of them. Right, so what I'm going for here is there's actually a frame perfect trick where you can switch the Dream Eater you're looking at, which skips this animation after opening the secret route. So you just mash it out and hope.
Right, yeah.
It saves no, not ability link. Grab him, grab Chilka Man. Where are you, Super Glide? There we go. Hopefully this juggle pop gets 20. You actual...
So are we doing this to get balloon res?
Yes.
So by
the main reason why I play this version over the other version is A, it loads faster, and B, you don't spend 10 minutes playing water barrels. Because on 3DS, you don't really get to play the game until about the 30-minute mark. On this, you play it after 13, 14.
Yeah, the stuff goes really fast.
Yeah. Buying Chilka.
Nice.
And I'm buying Super Glide. Yeah, it's just Super Glide in the first few minutes, right?
Because like even casually, I realize how ridiculously good Balloon Rat is, but you can't buy it from a shop till about halfway through the game.
You can only so Balloon Rat, when Balloon becomes available, you can only buy it on the sale forecast days. So that's why they only appear like halfway through. They appear after you beat Traverse Town 2, because I found that out like a couple of weeks ago. So now I'm gonna spam like 15 water barrels on these guys, trying to quit out at the earliest possible point. I haven't played this game in like a week, so you know I'm very, very rusty on these.
I like that they all have nicknames.
Oh yeah. I've got. So those two can give me spirit rules. He can't. That's literally why they're called that. Dude, they're actually doing okay. You want to see 28s because that's like the highest number that you can get by quitting out. You can potentially get a high number by playing the minigame and getting points, but sometimes you still get like 3 and you're like, okay, cool, I just wasted a minute for nothing. We kind of like guessed on 3DS that like 200 points was like, oh, that's the optimal number. Oh god, didn't we do that? Well, we had no idea. We were just like guessing because the main issue and another reason why the 3DS version is less favorable is because there's only two save slots where one of them has to be dedicated to your NG Plus save.
Right.
So, you know. I didn't play this game because a lot of it is very, very much the same, and I have another run that's tomorrow, so. I use down to 4, then I check where they are. Yeah, so usually people had a level 1 save on the 3DS as well as their thing. So routing in this game was a bit of a nightmare. We didn't really have much of a really solid route until the PS4 version came out, and they gave us 99 saves, and we're just like, yes, we got it now.
Yeah. It's like all of them in the PS4 versions like use the same save system, whereas the original games like had their own little save menus. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm grabbing some abilities. So what I am grabbing is I'm grabbing 3 magic boosts and 5 magic hastes. So what that's going to do is that's going to buff my magic damage, and that's also going to make all my magic commands recharge really, really fast. So, you know, this pretty much sets us up for the run. We never have to re-enter this menu ever again. This is the only time we come in here. We used to come in here again in a really old route that we did where we had a different Dream Eater set up. So I need to go there. It was because the 3DS used the actual cartridge to save the game rather than the SD card or anything. Or the system. It's that one. And that one. I think that's all I need. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I need. And then...
And 5 is the maximum you can have,
Yes.
like magic haste and stuff, right?
God.
That's
Yeah,
why you
yeah.
get 5.
Also, I can change Riku's deck while I'm here, so not fire.
That's the exact same deck I used to beat the game.
Hell,
coincidentally.
yeah. Do not worry. We use the God tier deck in this run.
Yeah.
It's fine, don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
like
So, we can actually skip intros to bosses in this game. For literally no rules. This is like the only game where like you can do that. You can just skip the boss intros. I'm kind of... And now Balloon Breath kicks in, and all the damage occurs. And Balloon Rush. And this kind of... There you go. That was a really good fight. You just kind of sit in his hitbox and Balloon Rush him.
Yeah.
You have to be careful about where he is in the strip there, because sometimes balloons will pop on all the walls. So Balloon Rush may be strong, but it's not only is its casting animation is kind of slow, but also it but like also it, I can't even talk, my words are just gone. But also it can pop on walls really easily, and if it doesn't pop on an enemy, you either want it to pop on an enemy straight away or travel around so it all homes in. So yep, now I'm gonna give that Riku drop.
It's like best to like have it be right on top of them, so
Yeah.
it just does all the damage straight away.
But one thing that you can do with it, once the Ballooner animation has actually come out, that once the balloons are out, you can be hit out of Ballooner, and it's that one there, that one there. Once the balloons have come out, you can like get hit out of like the animation, and you don't have to go through the one where he hits them. You can just summon another Ballooner. So there's some bosses later in the game where I deliberately take damage to get Ballooners out as fast as I can. So I'm waiting for Ballooners to recharge in this, so I'm just going to do this a couple of times. And
Again, this looks just like how I casually played the game.
And then once Ballooner comes back, I just kind of go ham. Moving around just to make sure that I get optimal positioning. And then hopefully that's the last enemy. Oh, there's another guy over here. I'm just going to combo him for the kill. There you go.
Nice.
That was kind of a mediocre fight because of the end. But yeah, sometimes one just gets away from you and you dream it's just poke it and it doesn't die. Cool, so. More flow motion now. Right, so. Oh, lovely. It's fine, I can just do this. And hopefully I land by the door now. Right, so one thing that's very important in this game is actually our level. So I'm going to grab a level up here. So I'm going to grab level 3 here. Not only for the magic increase, but it makes hitting the required level for Riku a bit easier. So unlike most cage runs, where you finish the game about, I don't know, level 30-ish, level 20 in most cases in, say, Birth by Sleep. But in this game now, we're going to finish the game at level 13 with Sora and 15 with Riku.
Nice.
Because the way this game works with its damage scaling is when you're, it kind of has like a hard kind of cap on what your stat needs to be in order to do like the good damage. So we just worked out the minimum level to do good damage with the best Keyblade that we can get. So I use a couple of bloomers here, and then I'm gonna go hit him. Oh, this guy's gonna be a bit of a... This is like the worst boss arena, by the way. I'm gonna throw him over here. So now I need to jump down. And then I'm just gonna try and kill him. This is a very... And that should... There you go. Yeah, so the way the damage works in this game is when like you're at the minimum required stat, and with our magic boost we hit that quite easily. So you know, we're like, cool, we're just gonna be low level the whole game. So you know.
Yeah. And we saw in that fight that mechanic, I can't remember what it's called. Where it's
Reality
like
shift.
Reality shift.
Yeah. So reality shifts aren't used in every fight, but they're used in some fights.
Yeah, they were originally using the touchpad on the
Yes.
3DS.
So some of them in the PS4 version are free as hell, Because there's some of them where you just have to hit X when you had to do a mini game on the the original.
Like
right. So this is Queen Butterfly. This is the only really worrying drop as Riku. If I don't get this, I'm just gonna have to eat like all the time loss and grind on some enemies. So you know. Which is fine. I just have to go to level 17 rather than level 15, which just loses a few minutes. But I can kill enemies like on the way.
Yeah, I remember this. It's actually quite a difficult fight. Like,
so 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, because like she moves around a lot, then 1, 2. Okay, I have one. I have to get it this round. You can get 2 cycle and still get the A rank, but my attacks were kind of slow there. It's fine. So they're gonna go, and she'll come back up now. You have a minute and a half to get this one, so getting 2 cycle loses about 20 seconds here, but you have about a minute and a half to grab it. So you know. 2 cycles fine. I'd rather just get the A rank and no reset.
yeah, I think it was easily 3 cycles for me doing it casually.
Yeah.
Like it's actually really difficult to hit the things. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's because it moves around like quite a lot. Right, so now item change my Keyblade. I'm gonna shove Kyoraga on. I don't exactly need it here, but I'm gonna shove it on anyway. Alright, so now I'm gonna go around here. Go into the door.
Oh, yeah, go on.
And then the game kicks me out again. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I just realized we met all of the World Ends With You characters, but we didn't see any of them.
Nope.
Yeah, shout out to the World Ends With You. Great game.
Oh, that was really bad. I shouldn't have done that. Right, so unlike most catch games, in this game you have to touch the save to unlock it. So I have to touch that save because I'm going to walk back to it in a bit. So, yep, I'm just going to do some movement. Alright, so if you've got anything to talk about over there, I'm just going to be running away from a thing in a second.
Yeah, so I will just plug the fact that we have a donation incentive for Resident Evil 2 Remake. It is, of course, the costume choice and the also what soundtrack. So currently, for the costume, it's Noir. That's winning by $30. With second place being the alternative costume with $5. And then for soundtrack, both are at 0. So if you want to donate, if you want the classic or the remake soundtrack, then basically at the moment, wherever you donate to it will be winning. So make sure you get your donations in for that.
Oh god. Right, so I have to break some like wood here. But you know, it takes like 7 hits to kill it. Bloomer is exactly like 7 hits, so it just breaks it instantly.
That's nice. Balloonra is just OP everywhere. There's no situation where it isn't ridiculous.
I mean, there are very specific situations on high difficulties where Balloonra actually is bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In my opinion, the most... Oh, God. I accidentally went into one of these. It's fine. This is just a cutscene I need to skip. Should be fine. Yeah, cool. What map? I was mashing X on the way out of there. On level 1... it's actually more favourable to use Faraga Burst in some situations.
Oh, really?
Because you can glitch the game to leave you on once more on a second chance regardless of how much damage you intake.
Interesting.
I think I have Overcast. I'm pretty sure I have Overcast, which is going to be hilarious for this boss. So what Overcast does is Overcast increases my magic output by 1.5 times. So we want it as many places as we can get it. So I'm going to go onto this guy and just kind of sit in his hitbox. Oh, I definitely have Overcast. And this is one of the ones where I just press that and then I can just start. And I use that to like let Balloonras recharge. I'm going to use it again to let more Balloonras recharge and stun him slightly. Then I'm going to Balloonra again and he should die. There you go.
Nice, yeah. It's like
I did like an entire bar with one Balloonra.
It's like if you attacked him, it would do this tiny chip damage every attack, or you could just be like, no, Balloonra.
No. I'm going to just do 3 Balloonras and you die, bro. I bet. Cool.
Yeah, it's just... What were they thinking with this move? I don't know.
The reason, okay, there's actually a reason why it's broken. It's specifically because it doesn't have an element assigned to it. So
Right.
nothing can resist it.
Yeah, it's just elementless.
It
magic
was meant to be
damage.
water,
Oh, right,
but
I
it just
see.
doesn't. It just doesn't really have anything. Right. So this is, in my opinion, the dumbest dive in this game. Just because of how you can cheese it. So you just kind of go around these guys. There's this guy here who's a bit of a idiot. Sometimes will hit you regardless. So now I can just sit here and mash X for like the entire
Oh,
thing.
what? Okay.
I'm just moving side to side
That's
slightly.
definitely not what I did.
So you don't have to dodge like any of this. Everything moves out of the way. Like you think you'd have to hit that up there? Nah. It just moves anyway. So you just kind of move side to side. There is 1 point to collect in this. So you just kind of like go down here, collect this 1 point. You can't collect anything around it because they all move into the way. Just collect the 1 point, and that gives you, and this is the freest A rank in
Yes.
the entire game.
Like, casually, I always assumed that you had to pick up, like, every single
Nope.
orange thing
Nope.
to get A rank, but
Nah, you just gotta
Totally
have
don't.
enough points.
yeah,
Right.
just go fast.
Yeah, just go fast. Oh god. So this is Light Cycle. Apart from having a banger soundtrack, honestly.
Yeah, we Tron now.
Yeah. So this is the fastest way to do this. This is basically an auto-scroller with a boss at the end of it, so another 3 point if you have anything. If not, I can just talk rubbish, but you know.
Yeah, I'll just plug the fact that if you want to get updates when our marathons go live and when your favourite runs are coming up, then you can follow us at UKSG Marathon on Twitter. Also, if you use the hashtag UKSG Winter 2020, you may be featured on the stream.
I'm waiting for the next straight so I can take a drink.
Yeah.
There's not one for a little bit, it's fine. So I used to think when I first ran this game that I had to like kill everything. You kind of turn automatically and you bonk, if not, it doesn't really matter. I think you have to do like a lap and a bit of this, but if you just keep mashing, you get a boost every time you switch modes. So you just kind of go through it. It ends after about like 3.5 minutes, so you know, it's a long auto-scroller.
I assume we have to get at some point along the track. Is that the trigger?
Probably, like...
Probably.
To be honest, I've never sat down and grinded this to work out how it works. It just ends about 3.5 minutes into my segment every
Fair
time, and
enough.
I'm like, cool, I get to fight the boss now.
Yeah, it's just at some point there's just a boss.
Yeah, I think if you get hit by these guys, you go a bit slower, but it doesn't really matter too much. Like, the classic DDD is we don't test stuff, we just do it and go, yeah, that looks faster.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, like mashing A, that I feel like that'll make it faster. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we make this faster? Let's add more balloon. I bet we got it. We used
Yeah.
Ice Barrage for a while because I got told to pick it up in a random run, and we were like, yo, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm trying to hit this boss as it's following me, so I'm just going to make sure that I'm by it. And it'll go in front of me now, so I change forms and start shooting at it. Hopefully it like charges at me, because then it eats all the damage. I'm trying to kill it before it gets to a certain point, because otherwise this is just slow, it loses like 15 to 20. And he's going to come at me again, or he's going to, yep. This is the bad turn, hopefully he comes at me again. Yes, he should die here. And he dies there.
Nice.
Cool. That was actually very, very good. Oh, don't worry. This run has been tested. There's just specific things that we haven't bothered to do things with. That's one of them because we always assume it's just an auto scroller. It ends after a little bit. So you know, we tested that. We tested that like that below where that should end. So we have an idea of where that should end. All right, cool. So now I'm going to change my Keyblade because I have a Keyblade with 10 magic now. I feel like this game just wants you to use magic as well. It gives you Keyblades with such high magic and such low strength. Like, we have a balloonless category for this game, right? We actually have a category where we banned balloon, but you literally use skull noise until you get halfway through the game and get another Keyblade, which finally has more strength.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna try and just position myself around so I can get as many bloomers out as I can. And kill that guy. I actually want to get hit out of Bloomers. There's my magic increase. And I want to kill that guy before he gets back to his... And there should be some guys spawning over here now, which is lovely. And the reason why I put the Bloomer on is actually for this, not Bloomer, I put Bloomer on for everyone, but no, I put the Curaga on. Usually most runners don't put the Curaga on until a later menu, because it's just slower to do it before, it just wastes time. So, I put it on because there's a bit in this where you have to sit in front of some guns and get a reality shift, and they've killed me quite a lot of times in the past. I'm just like, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, it's fair.
I ain't dealing with that. Because before we have the route we have now, on 3DS we used to have the regular balloon with us here as well, so we could get extra additional damage on bosses. But we sell it on PS4 because it sells for 150 money. We need more money. So, alright. So these are the guns. They don't like to give you their reality shift. Their reality shift in this game is you press some buttons, and if you press the wrong button, it goes, yeah, you ain't doing it. So I'm gonna go here. This one wants you to open the door. It's unlock. It says, yep, there you go, unlock. And then it shows a little cutscene, which I'm gonna take a drink.
Yeah, I always try and like read the code that appears, and as far as I can tell, it's actually kind of like reasonable. Like it kind of does represent what it actually does.
Yeah. So I go in this lift. I'm just waiting for the lift to fall. So yeah. So I'm gonna flow motion off of the wall there to go a bit faster here.
Oh, that was nice.
Oh my god, please, game. Right, so one thing which is one difference between the English version and the Japanese version. The Japanese version of this game is technically like 7 seconds faster or something. Okay, this is what I like to do. Likes to not give you a shift. The Japanese version of this game's like 7 seconds faster or something dumb, because something plays faster in the Japanese version right at the end. But something else that it does is when you use reality shifts on the English version, it eats commands, because on the Japanese version, circles attack. So circle and triangle, you can jump and you can't like do the jump and attack thing at exactly the same time. But in the English version, circle is jump and you can't attack and use a reality shift at the same time, because it's just not how it works. But in the English version, circles jump. But you can circle and use a command at the same time. So it just goes, yeah, I'm going to eat commands. So sometimes I will block before I do some things, or I will make sure I'm hovered over a command that's recharging before I do anything. Cool. There's a guy who'll chase me down here. He didn't come. There's sometimes a dude that just runs after you and he's way faster than you are. That was kind of slow movement, but whatever. The cutscene triggers like right there. There's 3 cutscenes here that I need to skip. It's sad when I got the cutscenes memorized, right? Sora gets his counter rush from that cutscene. Right, so this boss I'm coming up on is called Commantis, and it's one of the only bosses in any KH game that kind of has a hard-coded HP gate. He has a couple. They're locked behind reality shifts, so you have to do reality shift in order to get him through his phases. I have to wait because I got so many Bloomers out in the first bit because he hit me out of all my Bloomers. So I try to make sure I use the Bloomer before I do the reality shifts. So as soon as I'm done with the reality shift, the Bloomers start moving around straight away. So now I can start going around again. And he should go down now. That's fine. I'm so bad at that minigame. It was so easy on 3DS because you just tap the touchscreen. Oh, and the dude shooting in the background is the MCP guy in the film. I don't know his name. I haven't actually seen the film that this world is based on. All I know is it's Tron.
It's modern Tron.
Yeah, modern Tron.
Yeah. Yeah, the like humans in this just look a little bit strange.
That
like
was actually a very, very good fight, but yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the humans in this look too real.
Yeah, like
just like, oh god.
Realistic humans with like talking to Sora. It's just like, what?
What's
That's like,
hang on a second,
Yeah.
is basically what
Yeah.
I've got. Like, hold on a minute.
like no one mentions it. It's just weird.
Also, something else I have to point out with this game, we're 30 minutes in. This game just is so fast-paced. I actually really like this game as a speedrun. Alright, so time for another dive.
And a big part of that is just the PS4 loading times are like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this game was fast-paced on 3DS because of obviously Balloon Ride, but obviously just load times are slow. And obviously the 3DS version runs at 30 FPS, this version runs at 60. That's
Yeah.
another reason for the big speed up. So,
And it's just way nicer to play at 60 than at 30.
oh god, it's fine. You can bonk in this one. You can be fine. That guard there's a fake. There's a dude there, 2 dudes there, 1 dude there. Alright, so I need this one. Let's go down the middle here. There's a Mega Flare here. Mega Flare's like just a move that you can use. There's other moves like Laser Spin. I say other moves, there's Laser. There is a Laser Spin. So my PB for this is 203.50. I'm like 3rd place on the leaderboard. I don't have a recording of that run anymore, sadly, because I lost it, but my current time on the leaderboard is like 205 something. I'm going to collect a few more of these for safety, because you just need to get like sub 110 here. Or I don't need any more of them now. I mean, a casual playthrough this game is not that long. Oh, you get Balloon Rare for A ranking that one.
just the game's like, seriously, you should use Balloon Rare. Like this game pushes you so hard into magic, I find. Like,
as I said, all the Keyblades are based on magic, so you know.
yeah.
Right, so now I got to talk to my dude Geppetto here. Oh, someone did do a cutscene % run on 3DS, and it was like 30 hours or something.
Yeah, it'll add
there's a lot of cutscenes in this game.
Yeah.
They went a bit cutscene crazy in the later KH games, like KH2. If you do cutscene %, it's like a 20-hour run. So, you know. But then without the cutscenes, it's like 3 to 4, depending on the version you play, so, you know.
Yeah, casual playthrough of this game's like 20-25 hours, and probably like half of that's like cutscenes.
Yeah.
Something
Because
like
the worlds
that.
are actually really short in this game, so, you know. It's because it was a handheld game, so they were built to be like...
Like quite miniature, so it
Yeah.
can fit on a SD card and stuff.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to move through this room. Right, so the second part of this room, I'm going to try and do something that I tried to do at the start of Traverse Town with Riku. Right, so jumping's actually kind of slow, so it's faster to just bounce through walls like this. If you can. But it's really hard to control.
Yeah, it's actually quite a bit harder than Rebels making it look. Like when you're dashing forward in slow motion, it's like you have very restricted movement, and it kind of has a weird momentum to
Yeah,
it.
so this is Chilka Lobster. I actually forgot his name in the last marathon run I did of this game. Because I just blanked. So this guy will just lob fire at me. I don't really care about it. I'm trying to get a reality shift out of like this man. There you go, there's a reality shift. And I'm just going to try and bomb out some damage on him. So after this, he'll go into his DM phase. If I get lucky, I'll get another reality shift. I'm probably not going to because I haven't done enough damage to him. That's not happening. He's going to run away now. So he'll run to the other side of the screen. Oh, magic a cure. Oh, dude, my Dream Eaters had me that time. I'm going to cure just to make sure I don't die, because you can easily die in this game.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, that fight was kind of bad, but that fight goes horrible when he like just runs away.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Apache. I definitely invented this game.
You were taking a lot of damage from those attacks. I guess it's just because we're really underleveled.
Oh yeah, I'm like level
You're level 5.
I'm level 5 with Riku right now, so you know,
Yeah.
doing that damage as well.
Yeah.
Right, so now I've unlocked Riku's Traverse Town 2, but we're gonna like delay it for a minute here because we don't need to do it right now. decelerator. I grabbed drop decelerator there just to make this just to make Sora's bit a little bit easier, like a little bit less worrying. It's not that bad, but it makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, just to guarantee that we don't accidentally drop. Although
Yeah.
you were saying before that that's not really.
It's not really a worry in this run, like accidentally dropping. A lot of people complain about the drop mechanic, but when you know where you're going in this game, randomly dropping isn't really an issue. It becomes an issue when you play on high difficulties because, like, obviously, that actually worked. I killed those enemies as they like spawned in.
For people that have not played this game, so dropping is a mechanic in this game where there's like a bar in the bottom right corner of the screen, and when that runs out, we are forced to switch character to Riku to Sora, which would be annoying in the speedrun, except for the fact that
I would just
we
drop
have
back
so much
instantly.
time. Yeah, I guess you can manually drop, so...
Yeah, you can manually drop.
It-
So
it
I would
just
just
isn't
drop
an
back
issue.
instantaneously. It's fine. Alright, so now I need about... I can't remember the amount of points I need in this. I honestly forget the amount of points I need in half of these. I just do the route I know, and then I get an A rank most of the time.
It should be fine.
I have notes with, like, all the A rank requirements on it. So, you know, 13 is definitely more than enough to, like, get it. So, you know. It's like 1,100 you like need. Alright, so I'm gonna go change that. Right. So now we get into using some Dream Eater moves now. So this move is called Comet. It's the Dream Eater team combo you get with these guys. I can skip this cutscene, but I just want you to look at the majesty. This cutscene is incredible.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. He's just like...
He's just
Yeah.
chilling out, dude. And then this
Son of
meteor
Comet.
just comes and like one-shots everything.
Yeah.
I mean, a byproduct of doing that, it refreshed my balloon rush for me. Usually you have to wait like 10 seconds for them to refresh, but you know. Right, so should I do the cool movement here? It loses
Yeah.
time, but
Do the swag movement.
I'll
You
do
can
the
it.
swag movement.
Yeah, you can do it.
Right, so usually after this bit, you need to go into into Notre Dame and then up the stairs. But you can just, kind of just like flow motion up the side. This loses time because obviously the load times are fast. It saved a bit of time on 3DS, I think, but it's something nice to show off whenever we get this into a marathon. You can just slow motion up the side of this, and then just go in the door here.
I had no idea you could just go up there. I assumed there was some invisible wall at some point.
No, you can
but
just
no,
go up there.
You can just go.
So. Yeah, well, like, there was another runner that used to do that every time on 3DS. He used to always go up there like that. He never went through the door. Right, so this next fight is actually a dangerous fight. This fight can kill me because I'm A, underleveled, B, I don't have a cure. Because, you know, cureless. Oh, okay. So I'm going to hit that once, then hopefully that kills it. It didn't kill it, it's fine. I'm going to go for the kill anyway. Oh, really?
That's what really trolling.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I just have to hope my Dream Eaters decide to kill me now, so you know. Where am I? I'm over here. Cool. So I'll go over here. And then go up the wall here. So this guy here I'm going to hit, and then Bloomer, and hopefully that... Yep, that hit him.
Nice.
It didn't look like it did, but it did. So this next guy I'm going to hit twice because I'm going to be able to be closer to him. So this Wallflower, I go 1, 2, and then... The first one's always the hardest one to hit.
Yeah, that section took me ages casually because this area is actually quite big and you go around trying to find where the enemies are. That are
Yeah, so
protected and
now
stuff.
we're actually getting into Sora's main movement that we use. We use Super Glide with Sora. As you saw, I was using Flow Motion with Riku, but I'm actually going to use Super Glide with Sora. And something cool that I'm doing there is I'm like going over boxes and things to maintain height so I don't have to drop down and Super Glide again. So I'm just like using boxes to keep me pushed up. So yeah. No, that's another thing with this game. It's really fast when like you know where you're going. So I just go around here. There's because this area is also huge as well. So you just go over here. Then I end up at a cemetery. Then I can just go up here and into the hole. Oh no, find the secret passage is fine. So this is the reason why I grabbed the drop decelerator is this room. So usually what we used to do is we used to go destroy these pots to stop the effect on the floor. And what the effect on the floor does is it makes your drop gauge go down faster. But we just decided to stop caring about that and just go straight to the door and just like try not to stay in it for too long.
Yeah, if you stand in it for ages, it just like annihilates the bar.
Yeah.
But
Alright, and that's another thing. Like, Super Glide in this game is kind of like dashing in flow motion, where like you have to maintain a kind of a straight line, and your turning circle's pretty abysmal. So I just kind of try and find a line and stick to it. Alright, so the door's here. So I can just kind of go up there, use the terrain to push me up over, which is another cool thing that you can do with Super Glide, which I did on the bridge as well. So this takes me straight to another fight with Wargoyle, but this time he's on the ground. This guy just goes ham on you. I'm just going to go ham on him, though. I got a stun on him.
nice.
This is what I mean by this guy just goes absolutely mental on you. I forgot this is DDD. He's got different controls. Oh, this guy just hits you out of stuff, and I'm going to kill him now.
And then he falls over and then you don't kill him.
No. So in BBS, you press left to reset the deck. In this game, it changes your command deck to a Dream Eater thing. So reset deck in this game is that button. Is L1.
Yeah, they change the controls like every game. It was so confusing.
Yeah, and I've been playing a lot of BBS because that's my main game. So I sometimes forget, and I'm just like, oh no. Oh, yo, I forgot about this. So we're actually gonna do one of the only changes that I made to the route of this game, way back when I first started running this game. We used to do the grid straight after this, but I just go, and I was looking at my splitters one day, and I was just like, why do we go to the grid? There's no fights there. We get a level up, and we can get to level 7, potentially saving a couple of seconds in the grid by going to Prankster's Paradise. So that's what I did. Oh yeah, I do stream on Twitch. I stream on Twitch a few times. Oh god, I stream on Twitch a few times a week. Or I try to. Cool. So this is a great one because you get to take revenge on balloons. So I'm gonna try and just pop as many balloons as I can. Many runners have different strats for this. It's basically the same speed regardless of how you do it. Some people just have different preferential ways of doing it. I like to do it the way I like to do it just because I've always done it that way. So it's how I learned how to do this, which is use that there and just dash up and down like this, and this bursts as many as I can. Because the lasers continue even when you've run out of the power-up, so you can just kind of move around while using it, and you're fine. And you need about 700 points to get through this, so I'm just going to move around, and that should hit some of them. And I can just sit in the middle and go. Oh, and something else about the PS4 version, when you finish the task, the time pauses, but the time doesn't pause, it keeps going. So it's really hard to know what you're doing. Right, so I actually usually I do we used to do a menu here to put on the Kyoraga because it's useful in this world just to make sure your Dream Eaters don't die. But now we just do that menu after this next fight because whenever you put on a new command, your entire deck has to reset. So we just do it after this fight instead. I put the usually you put the extra ballooner on here. Oh, that can happen. Sometimes you get frozen here. It's fine. It just loses like a bit of time. Jester Bockies are a bit annoying to deal with. So I'm just gonna deal with them like this. Then some more spawn because lovely. Then some Kuma pandas will spawn. I think they're called that. They're big pandas. There they are. There's the boys. They'll just like punch you and stuff.
It's not Kingdom Hearts without a big fat enemy.
Oh, I know, right, dude? Dude, this fight is going horribly. Right, so I mentioned about Dream Eaters dying. So when Dream Eaters run out of health, they go into a 30-second countdown thing where you have to go mash X on them. If a Dream Eater, if that runs out, then the Dream Eater will disappear completely, and you lose all benefits you get from that Dream Eater. So the way abilities work in this game. Oh god, I need to actually do the menu. So the way abilities work in this game the blue abilities, so like Magic Haste and Magic Boost and stuff, are actually tied to the Dream Eaters. So if they're not in your party, you don't have them. So that's why I have this specific setup of Dream Eaters. Not only for later in the game when they get an ability that's very useful to us, but also because I need them in my party in order to have the abilities on me. Because this game kind of functions on kind of a setup-based system where the Dream Eaters you have kind of dictate the kind of deck that you should be using. Which is where a lot of people get their hate for this game because they didn't understand that. It's not very well explained to you.
Yeah, casually I thought that like once you'd unlocked them, you had them forever, so you could like train up a new Dream Eater.
Yeah, no, it's got to sit in your party to
yeah,
to
exactly.
have it.
So, which makes it kind of feel like
It's very much a setup-based game.
yeah,
It's very much like a traditional kind of RPG, but you got Pokemon with you. It's kind of like a different type of Pokemon game. So this is the Trampoline Fight. This fight's terrible without Overcast because you one-shot the pandas with Overcast. You like 2 to 3 shot them without it. Oh, my magic increased. That means I can actually use more damage to them. And this guy should take some damage from that. Okay, he didn't. That's fine. I'm going to wait for him to drop, and then I'm going to go. Balloons, please stop. That's fine. Now I'm going to go up there. And these guys are annoying, so I'm going to kill these guys first. So these guys can do an attack where they have like a sonic... Oh, it was right there, like a sonic wave thing, and just stuns you. So you can just kind of... If you kill them early, that's fine. Do a combo on that guy. There's 3 more down here. I was hoping he'd hit me, but it's fine. Run around the back of this guy. They get stunned from like Balloonra. Because Balloonra can actually cause stun on certain enemies, so... I think this might level me up level 7.
there is nothing Balloonra does not do.
I'm just going to kill this guy. Yeah, I got my level 7. That's actually pretty rare to get.
So we're ahead in XP than normally.
Kind of. I think my Dream Eater's got a couple of kills in like the Willflower fight. All it means is I don't kill one enemy. Because you just grab it on the way to the next boss.
Fair.
So...
Time save? Kind barely.
Yeah, barely any time save, but it's fine. Alright, so... Also, something else that this game does, the reason why I put Kiraga on is because the game likes to heal the main character, like Sora and Riku, but it really doesn't like healing your Dream Eaters. So, you know, half the time your Dream Eaters are left on like 2 health, and you're like, well, I'm at full health, so you know. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna go underwater, because you know Sora can breathe underwater. Which makes all the sense, by the way. So I'm going to go down here. I'm actually going to use the terrain to like push me downwards. So I can actually enter the door at the right time.
That's like...
Right, so in this room here, there's actually a cutscene that will play if you stay too close to the ground. So I'm going to stay above the ground because the cutscene is unskippable. So I'm going to stay up here and flow motion over here. And that's the door. So... I'm going to go in there just to make sure I get that, and then going to go down here. So there's actually another unskippable cutscene at the bottom of this floor as well, so I'm going to stay as far as I can here as well. But luckily you just got to kind of turn around this door, and the door you need is right behind that rock. If you go any lower, you get the cutscene. And it literally just shows you the area and shows you where to go. That's all the cutscene will show you. It shows you what you're meant to do. Alright, so this is Chilka Lobster. I'm going to actually super glide up there to get around the back of him. So it'll kind of skip a move if he decides not to do it. Just kind of go ham with Balloonras in his face. And because I've got 5 magic haste, when I run out of Balloonras, my last one is back to being at full. I'm going to kill now because otherwise my Dream Eaters will die. Right, so this guy will go into his like DM phase. A DM stands for desperation move. It's a term that we use in the Gage community just to describe a phase or like a super move that a bot will do. So this guy goes into this phase. I just kind of spam Balloonras here. When he gets down to like a bar of health, he can choose to end this fight at like any point he wants. Cure. A good save, because my Dream Eater did the same thing. So I'm just going to kind of hang around here and try and Balloonra him without going too close to the wall. Laser attack is kind of annoying, but you know, they go behind me when I'm stood here, so you know. Yeah, This boss gets kind of boring at the end of it, but it's fine. We get a hilarious meme bit in a minute. He should actually end this in a minute. Yeah, he's going to skip very soon. So he has like over half a bar left. As soon as he goes into this phase, he can... I'm not sure the level of health he needs to be at. I don't know off the top of my head. But he can pretty much choose to end it whenever he feels like it. Oh, I know what I'm doing no damage. I forgot to change my keyblade.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, you were definitely doing a lot more damage as a Riku.
Oh, that's the most common mistake in a DDD run is forgetting to change your keyblade. It's a meme in the community. I can't believe I fell subject to the meme. It's fine. I can literally do it in a second and it won't lose me any time. I mean, it's lost me time here because this took forever, but actually this world actually hasn't been that bad considering like...
Yeah, you've done... A couple of the fights did seem like it took a little while, but...
I probably only lost about a minute, if I'm being honest with you, which is not that bad. I've had worse situations where I've lost tons of time over something like that. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm just in a balloon bubble thing.
You stood on top of a balloon.
I'm stood on top of a
monster inside of it.
Yep. In a second, this will light up and I can kill him. When the finish lights up, I can hit the boss. There you go. Oh yeah,
yeah, that is some Iron Brew.
That is some Iron Brew on the couch, but I'm fine. I've got my Red Bull here, so you know, I've got my gamer fuel in front of me. I'm actually really annoyed. I forgot to change my keyblade. That's really, oh, that's so embarrassing. Oh, that's so bad. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I've done this.
Can't believe you've done this.
It's fine. I'll change it now so I don't forget. Because if I go into the next world, I will forget. I meant, like, that's, like, the point of doing... So I was meant to do a menu at, like, the start of the world to change the Keyblade, but I forgot to do it because I was talking about not doing a menu to not put on the command. Oh, God. Right, so this is the first fight with Brawlamari, which is, like, this squid boss thing. So this guy just goes through cycles through a few attacks, and then you get to attack the pimples on his head, which is very, very useful. So, you know, avoid the rock trails. So when he does this move, you need to use the air break, because there's an air break in this, to dodge the move, and then you can then just go in. This fight takes exactly 2 cycles to kill him. If you miss the 2 cycle, you get a B rank. But if you miss the 2 cycle in this fight, then I'm not sure what to tell you. I've never actually missed the 2 cycles, so if I do it, it better be now, because that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, this is definitely the dive where if you've gone all the dives and never used any of the defensive options, you get annihilated. If you just forgot they existed.
Yeah, shield's actually very, very useful in this game.
You get pretty much constant invulnerability with the shield, it feels like.
Yeah, so now he comes at me, I'm gonna air break. If he hits you during this move, you don't get a chance to attack him. So you have to aerial break, so 2 cycles and he dies. And now I can just kind of like mash diving strike. Which is the move where Sora shouts, yes, yes, faster, faster.
Faster, faster.
Yeah. Cool.
Good
Them A ranks. Alright, so now I get Super Glide to Sora. So, as I mentioned before, the reason why we go to Frank's Paradise first, unlike with Riku, is there's no enemy fights in this Asura. You just kind of super glide to the end. And then you fight the boss of this world, which is Rinsler. And kind of go around there. I have to go that far forward because there's an invisible wall to the left of me. So hopefully I get this. Please, there we go. You don't always get that. You sometimes have to jump again, or you get caught on the flow motion thing. Alright, so here I have to use flow motion because I can't jump that. So this is the one time we use flow motion as Sora to like do movement through a room. Or like this is one of the only times where I should do it. Let's counter rush. My dude counter rush. Alright, so now thanks Sora. Head for the docks. Board the Solar Sailor. Right, so I'm actually going to pick up a chest in this bit. It's one of the only chests we actually pick up in this run. Because we rooted out every single other chest, really. So... Oh, please. He says yeehaw there as well.
Yeah, you did open at least one chest in Traverse Town.
Yeah, I did, but I needed to sell that. But
Yeah,
we used to pick up a Kyoraga chest later in the game. We don't do that anymore. We just buy a Kyora instead. Because this animation is really slow. But this chest is very important. It's got a ballooner in it.
Yeah. Balloonra, all hail, Balloonra.
So now I've got my 6 Balloonras for the rest of the game now. So basically with 6 Balloonras and 5 magic hastes, as soon as I've used my last Balloonra, the first one is restored again. So I can just cycle it over and over and over.
It's just the Balloonra spam. Will never end.
Yep. In the new game run, you actually come to this world as early as possible to grab that Balloonra, and then you drop back and do the rest of the run.
Interesting.
Because, like, you need the Balloonra. Alright, so I'm coming up on Rinsler. Rinsler's got a few, like, things that he can do at the start of the fight. The one move that I don't want to see is he can throw his disc at me, and it hits me on the way forward and on the way back. If that hits me out of 2 Balloonras, I lose 2 bits of damage. But he's got another thing where he can run forward and continuously hit me. And as I mentioned before, if you get hit out of balloon after the balloons have appeared, you don't need to sit through the rest of the animation. Like that.
Just like that, yeah.
So now I just kind of go, see, look at the damage now, right?
Yeah, now we've got the right Keyblade on. So.
Right, so this guy actually has a phase where he turns the room upside down. Yeah, you don't ever get to see it.
Well, we're just like, no, balloons.
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 He can do the phase even when you're doing that strat, but you know, I say strat.
Strat, why?
I fully acknowledge that like this game is like full of like balloons, but it's just I find this game so much fun to play when I do actually get to play it.
Yeah, it's a really cool Kingdom Hearts game. It really stands out being different in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. And honestly, I actually really enjoy the speedrun, even though it like there's lots of people who don't, but you know. Alright, so now I'm gonna go into don't click dive there. You have to go down one, or like you lose a bunch of time.
You have to do the dive.
On the 3DS, you couldn't quit out of dive, so you just lost a minute. No. So I'm actually gonna change Keyblade to one that isn't specialized in magic. I'm gonna change one that's specialized in strength. Oh, I just ignore the story. Of course, I know what happens, but I just ignore it. Right, so I changed to a Keyblade with less magic but more strength there, because I'm going to use Comet in this fight to basically mollywop the end of the fight. So I need to kill 3 enemies in this bit. Thank you for hitting me out. So I need to kill 3 enemies here. I'd preferably kill the seahorses because they have less HP. And then skip that cutscene, and then this fight should end.
The story of this game is basically time travel.
Time travel. Yep.
Time travel.
Yep. So if I didn't switch my Keyblade there, Comet does no damage to anything. Like, you need a Keyblade with 10 in strength to actually get that one shot on all the enemies. So now I change back.
So Comet is strength based.
It's based on your strength, but you just need like a minimum strength. Right. So I'm gonna save warp here. A hot meme is that I don't actually know how much time this save warp saves. I've never asked. I've never timed it. So I just know it's faster because obviously doing a bunch of flow motion and a couple of load screens is slower than just 2 load screens and save warping. Right, so this is Sora's most dangerous fight in early game because we're so low leveled. This is the boss rush. So we refight Hocker Monkey, Wargoyle, and Chilka Lobster with the stipulation of being in a very, very tiny room. So, you know, Hocker Monkey's kind of annoying in this room, but Wargoyle is like the worst in this room. This is going really well right now, by the way. By that I mean it's horrible. I'm just going to use that just to stun him. So when I switched my Keyblade to the other one, I actually checked to see if I'd overcast for this world, and I didn't, so I don't get overcast in this fight. Saves about 45 seconds. I didn't get it. You can actually stun Wargoyle by attacking him on the right frame there. Oh, I got it at ESA Summer 2018 if like, you want to see what that looks like. Oh god. Yeah, so he's going to fall over here. I'm going to Balloonra him once, and then he's going to get the ring around him. And, oh nice. So the reason why this fight's scary is because Wargoyle doesn't stop attacking you. He doesn't really stagger either. Cool. And also that move, if you're low on health, just bodies you. Right, so next is Chilka Lobster. And this is actually going really, really well for this fight without Evercast. Oh, kind of in his hitbox. What is he doing? That was really weird. So hopefully he does the sleep move because it's fine. He's hitting me out of the balloon. It's actually kind of useful when he does that. But
yeah, it's kind of optimal as long as you get the balloon right out.
I'm actually gonna. What the hell was that? I've never seen him bend over like that. That's fine. He's gonna die now. He's dead now. That last one was kind of bad, but the rest of that fight was actually very, very nice. While I've got a second, I'm just gonna crack that one open. Because there's a white screen there that lasts forever. Right, so the reason why I dropped to Riku without going and doing his Traverse Town 2 is because I would just have to drop again for no reason. Because now if I go complete Riku's Traverse Town 2 now, I can go straight to the other worlds without having to drop again. So I can so I don't have to drop extra times and waste my opportunity to grab a magic gain like I did there, which increases my magic damage by a little bit. If I had enough points, which I didn't, I would have grabbed a magic gain level 2. In a very, very old route of this game, we used to do the battle portals if we could to get our EXP. But they're slower than just killing some regular enemies throughout the game as both characters because they have an intro and an outro, kind of like all Force fights do, where they have the bit at the beginning which you can skip and then the slow motion bit when like you beat the fight. But also they're not consistent about which ones spawn and where, and like which ones spawn in on the save file. We never. Oh, the elephant was doing its suck move. I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, hang on a second. There's an elephant that spawns behind you. So yeah, so we used to be able to grab a magic gain level 2 there, but we don't really need it. So now this is what I like to call free EXP fight for Riku. So dinosaurs in this game give a metric crap ton of EXP. So I'm level 6, I'm level 7.
Doing a bit of grinding, if you can call it that.
I didn't mean to queue up, but it's fine, whatever. I'm level 8. Oh, look at that, I'm level 9.
Level 9.
Oh, look at that. I'm halfway through level 9 now.
Yeah.
So I gained 5 levels in that fight as Riku. There's they give a lot of EXP.
Hey, we're almost at the level we need to be to beat the game. Only 4 more.
There's another fight where he gains 5 levels in one fight. So, you know.
Yeah, because bosses don't give any XP.
Bosses don't give EXP in this game. So bosses in other KH games, mainly the only game, KH1, bosses in KH1 actually gave EXP. They took that away in later games because it stops you from having to do basically any grinding, because you can just grab your XP from all the bosses.
Yeah, it also
look
kind
at that, perfect.
lets like 0 XP runs actually work, because you can just dodge every fight. Obviously, you get no XP as an ability as well. But
Yeah. Right, cool. So next, I'm actually going to do Riku's next 2 worlds out of the intended order, because Riku gets a Keyblade for beating Symphony of Sorcery. I mean, they both get it, but you get a Keyblade which has higher magic. But the good thing about Symphony of Sorcery is it doesn't have a traditional boss fight in it, so we don't need our magic stat to be high to complete this world. There are no force fights, and it's just a boss fight, and the boss fight is a diving boss, so our strength and magic don't matter here at all. So we go here early, grab the Keyblade, and it speeds up the world after this quite a lot. And I'm going to use Laser Spin here just to try and destroy some stuff. This will stop me from like accidentally targeting things. It didn't there, but you know. So in this one, I'm trying to kill 30 enemies. I've only got 9 so far. It doesn't matter. There's way more enemies in this than what it seems. Go through the middle of those. There's 3 here. There's a bomb here that I'm going to hit as well. Wait for a second. Smack the bomb. The reason why I wanted the Mega Flare is because it makes this bit a bit easier, but it's not actually like any slower to just hit these guys a few times. They run away after a little bit, so you know. Then you can go through the middle and grab the Mega Flare from here. There's a bunch of bats that spawn. You just kill them all, and you get all the stuff. Grab some more. Oh, thank you, Riku. You real god. It's fine.
I don't even know what you hit.
I hit a snowflake.
Alright.
That's an A rank as well. That gets me something
Nice.
that I sell later. I mean, probably sell. I don't even know what it gives me. I forget. It gives me like a Dream Eater piece thing, which I don't really use. Because obviously I've done all my Dream Eater stuff.
All A ranks so far. Good job.
Yeah. And that's actually one of the harder things for like a lot of people is A ranking all the dives consistently. Like it took me forever to get used to A ranking all the dives. Oh, also it's better to. It's actually you save like 0.4 seconds by failing the last one here because it stops one of the fireworks from going off, but still passes the
Yeah.
mini game. So.
Oh, that's interesting. You don't have to hit all of them to pass the minigame. I thought
Yeah,
you did.
on some of them you can miss 2.
Fair.
So this is another chest I pick up. This gives me zero Gravizer. 0 Gravizer in this game is Magnet. Magnet doesn't exist in this game, so instead you have 0 Gravizer. Oh, that movement's very crisp.
Nice.
And if you see me pressing a button, I'm pressing the wrong one deliberately so I don't press the right one every
Yeah.
time. So... Yeah, no, the music in this level is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's quite a nice little stage.
And then a pop in there. Alright, so I actually pick up another chest in here. This chest is kind of integral to this run now. We didn't used to get this, but now we grab an elixir here. Because there's just an elixir on the floor for us to grab. So elixirs in this game restore health, but they also restore the Dream Link, the Link bar, the purple bar underneath the Dream Eater's HP. We use Comet a lot in Sora's next world, so I grab some items to refill it throughout the next couple of worlds. So I can spam some Comet throughout Sora's next world. I'll give this a shot. I'll give this one shot. You get... Ah, failed it. You can like you can flow motion up that wall and kind of launch yourself up the side, but it's actually really hard to do and it doesn't really save any time. But I thought I'd go for it just to try and do it. You kind of go diagonally up and then you can kind of launch yourself upwards because there's like a thing that stops you from flow motioning at the top of that wall, but you can launch yourself past it with like enough speed. Right, so when you do this one, all the wind disappears from all the places around us. The game wants us to go up that ramp in front of us, but we don't need to do that. We can just turn around and flow motion up this wall, and we skip that entirely, and just go up here. I'm going to go over that. The Ice Barrage chest is actually up there. That's where Ice Barrage is.
This world feels very different without young Xehanort taunting you the whole time.
yeah, because I'm just playing music. I'm chilling, dude.
Yeah, it's just hanging out.
Pardon the pun, but I am just chilling.
Yeah. You know.
I was taking a drink. I wasn't making that
just
drink.
letting it go.
That's fine. Thank you for that one.
I was like wondering when am I going to make that joke.
Cool. So now I get to go into the boss, which is with Chernobog, which, fun fact, is the only fight in this entire game where every single difficulty does exactly the same amount of damage. You have to hit this guy 3 times and he dies. So he has 3 bars of HP. 1 hit does a bar of HP. So I'm going to try and avoid getting knocked back because that can be really slow. You can actually lose a lot of time in this fight by getting destroyed by like specific things. Oh god, I didn't start
Yeah,
moving
I've
fast.
definitely died in this fight. Like the third phase, like it's actually quite tricky to get to him. But I'm sure that Rebel make it look dead easy.
I'll try, make it look
Yeah.
easy. Right, so when he's throwing the fireballs, he'll throw them in random directions, so I'll try and circle around. Right now, he starts throwing phantoms at me. So phantoms are one of the secret bosses from KH1. If one of them launches onto me, I just have to spin away. I just have to use the shield to spin it off me. They just slow you down. I might have to spin here. It should be good, actually. Yeah, so he flings these in random directions. If they hit you, you just get knocked back. You lose, like, on average, by getting destroyed in this fight, I usually lose about 15 to 20. You can lose quite a lot here by getting destroyed. It's kind of hard to die on beginner, but the phantoms he uses now, the white ones, they drain your health as well as slow you down. And they're also really fast. That can happen sometimes. That's really annoying. So more phantoms will spawn now.
Yeah, he just throws so much stuff at you on the final section.
I'm spinning because this is just safer to do now because I got hit. So he throws all the stuff at me now. He even throws more phantoms. The air fireballs are the worst ones. So more phantoms are here, but I've got my straight line. I'm just going to mash X. Yeah, exactly. Who brought the Dementors in? The white Dementors.
Yeah, they are draining your health. But
Yeah, they do.
we're
They
there,
drain your health.
so it's fine.
I definitely lost all the time there. That's fun. So that's the reason why we go to that world first, because our strength and magic stat do not matter there. So we just like, you know, YOLO it. By YOLO, I mean it's just completable. Right, so are you a fan of RNG time saves?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a potential 40-second time save in this fight.
Wow, 40
That's
seconds.
completely random.
That's a lot of time.
My PB in this is 2:03:50. My PB's from like a couple of years ago because I only really play this game when I like submit to marathons or like when I'm bored with friends. This game's kind of a slog to grind because of how much RNG there is involved. So this looks the same as the first Brawlamari fight I did, where you go through these two cycles, but then he turns around, and there's something that we know as the Brawlamari 2 cycle. Some people get confused because this is already a 2 cycle, but we mean 2 cycle in the second phase. I don't know why we called it 2 cycle, but that's just what we called it. So get hit by that. So by specifically controlling where I'm swinging in the second part of this, when I'm attacking the pimples, let's call them pimples now. I can kind of spread damage and hopefully like do enough damage to all of them that I can just kind of run through them all and kill them. It's completely random if the game will let me get away with it or not, because this fight is kind of like forced to be done in 3 phases. So that's what it's programmed to do. So it's very, very hard to actually get this strat to even work. I've never actually had it work for me, so I usually go for it anyway because you may as well. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I missed it. You have to get that last hit in there to actually get it. The game doesn't always let you get away with it. It takes away the hitbox.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So if you'd got that last hit, would you have got the strat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you think you get it? Like, what's the success rate?
Oh, I've never got it.
You've never got it?
I've never gotten it.
It isn't like a 50-50.
No. It's like tiny as hell.
Oh my god.
The world record has it.
Of course it does. I mean, 40 seconds, that's a lot. Yeah, grinding this run sounds pretty rough. Just play the first 1 hour, 15 minutes, and then be like, oh, never mind.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't really mentioned it, but Overcast in most places saves about 40 seconds to a minute.
Oh, really? And what conditions need to
Overcast
be
is
met to get
completely random.
Overcast? It's just totally random.
Every single world is assigned a weather forecast when the game basically starts, when you click on New Game. I don't know what really affects it, to be honest, because we've never really managed to work it out. It's just completely randomized. And we just hope that our seed lands with overcast in good places. So in the last phase, the rocks actually move. If you get hit by that blast, he does another phase of attacks and you lose the A rank. Because another phase of attacks takes 40 seconds, which loses you the A rank.
Yeah, like, these dive fights are actually, if you don't clock on to what you're supposed to do, or don't execute right, the boss just goes, nope, you don't get a chance to hit me now. We're going to do it all
I
over
get Zero
again.
Graviga from A rank in that, and Zero Graviga is actually very, very useful in a fight in Sora Symphony of Sorcery. I can change my Keyblade now, and then I'm going to go into my command deck, change Zero Graviga, I'm going to put Luna, what am I doing? There you go. I'm going to change Sora's deck now. I'm going to put Zero Graviza there, I'm going to put Elixir there. I forgot to put High Jump on this Riku. That's fine. So I edit Sora's deck there because I can, because I'm in the menu. I'm also going to change out no rules for rules, because now they're actually at the level where they can give me a Spirit Roll. They're nearly at the level where they can give me the Spirit Rolls. What Spirit Roll does is it increases my damage even further than it is now. So I get basically another buff. So I have to kill this lion here because I need the XP from him. The lions also give a lot of XP as well. So I'm 12 away from the next level. Oh god, I don't want to buy there. I want to sell, and I want to sell Fire. Sell that one. Sell both of them. Sell that. God, the game has completely destroyed my money this run. Dark Barrier. That should be enough. So I need to buy a Collision Magnet. And I need to buy a Cura. I need to buy a Slow. So they will all be kind of like relevant later on in the run. Mostly for Sora. Because that's where we use most of our extra commands, because Sora needs them. Alright, so now we get to go through the rest of the world with Riku. So I mentioned earlier about a fight where Riku gains five levels in one fight. I'm actually heading to that fight now, so I gain basically all the levels I need with Riku in this next fight, and then in the final world I kill one wave of enemies to level up from level 14 to level 15. So this is a segment where we have to find all the Beagle Boys. So, oh, and also there's the stuff on the ground that increases our drop gauge. But if I spin that, he does that. So I have the Zero Graviza on because Zero Graviza actually affects the Beagle Boys, so we can catch him in Zero Graviza and stop him from moving around. So stop him from moving around, and it also catches the enemies as well. So you know, it makes it much easier to control the fight. I didn't even do that, but it's fine. I'm just gonna hit him now. That's fine. Right. So now I'm gonna go up here. It's fine. Go through the door. So there is a route. There is a slightly faster route that you can take, but I'm really inconsistent at it. So I'm just gonna do the route that I find easier, which is going here. It's a little bit awkward with the walls, but it's fine. They're gonna move back here. Gonna drift and then Balloon. They can give me Spirit Rolls now, so you know, hopefully I get one. So I'm just gonna kind of go ham with Balloon. Oh, please kill him. There's a Spirit Roll. So not only do Spirit Rolls increase my magic damage, they also increase my physical attack damage as well, so I just use the physical combo to finish him off. So I'm going to go here because I actually want to get these two lions as well for the EXP. They're not always easy to get, but you know. Oh, look at that, another Spirit Roll. So this next Bloomer does so much of the damage.
Nice, yeah.
So as you see, I'm level 14 now. I entered that fight at level 9.
Yeah.
So 2 Spirit Rolls in one fight. Right, so one thing that slightly affects your rate of getting Spirit Roll is something called Affinity, which is like the Dream Eater's kind of friendship rating with you, kind of like in Pokemon. So at the start of the run, I make sure I had 9 in Affinity with both my magic Lapins, which is my main Dream Eater that I'm going to be using for this. That is the worst position that you can be at, my friend. Thank you for moving. Thank you for moving to a good position. So it's one of the better ones here. Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, affinity. Right, so yeah, we start with affinity at max to try and stop a condition that Dream Eaters can go to when they have 0 affinity called silence, because they won't cast anything when they're in silence, so we can't get spirit rolls when they're in silence. So we try and avoid that as much as possible by making sure that they are healed up, safe, and not really bodied. They get bodied here a bit, but it's not enough to put them at 0. They'll just heal them up. So you have to sit here for around 30 seconds and wait for this hand cycle to go through. Thank you for the spirit roll. You can actually skip this with good RNG with overcast and a with overcast and a spirit roll, but it's very, very rare to get it. I've got it once and it saves like 50 seconds here. So you just kill him there.
Yeah, it sounds like there's quite a lot of like very unlikely but huge time saves.
Yeah, there's very possible things. We don't tend to rely on them. They're just like, oh, nice, I got it.
Yeah.
We never get those types of things on like big PB runs. The only thing that World Record has is
The 2-cycle
the 2-cycle Brawl Lamari. Sorry, I literally lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I left that chest. I don't need it.
It's 2 AM. It's fine.
Yeah. Alright, so now I am dropping. Actually, it wouldn't have wasted time because I have to wait anyway. I put a knockout punch. So, as you notice, I switched to a Keyblade with higher strength, but it has the same magic stat. So I get to abuse Comet without losing any of my magic damage now. So that's why I was picking up the Dream Candies, because Dream Candies restore half of your Dream Gauge, your Link Gauge, and also I picked up the Elixir for the same reason. So I'm going to get to use Comet like an extra 4 times in this world.
Let's get some fasters going.
I'll try. It's bad RNG, dude. He's not saying it.
I know, right?
Oh, dude, I missed out some points. It's fine, though. I always get hit here. I deliberately get hit here to collect more points. There you go, he said it. So you wait here for a second, and then more enemies will spawn, and then you kill them all. So I now hold on to my Mega Flare till the very end now, because I don't need to use it right now. So these guys sword in the middle, and then I can just kind of go through it. I'm going to collect these 2 down here to make sure I have enough points. Oh, and one thing about this game which is really weird in terms of the A rank rewards, Riku and Asura share all the A rank rewards, apart from the Keyblades you get from A ranking all the dives. I just bodied that entire fight. So now I just balloon around the rest of this fight. So I just use Comet there to wipe out half the fight. I say half, like the entire fight. Because it kills stuff as it's spawning in as well, because the lingering hitbox is so long and so massive. It's basically a total screen nuke for like anything. The only thing it doesn't kill is that last wave, because it doesn't last that tiny little bit at the end. Alright, so another little speed thing is you want to make sure you talk to Mickey kind of in front of him, because Mickey will jump to face you so he talks to you. And you can lose time by being off to the side slightly. Right, so this is the Tyranto Rex. I just kind of stand on this thing and spawn and use balloon res. I try and get hit at some points as well. Something weird about this fight, right? It's actually slower for him to sit in your face and take balloon res, because for some reason he takes less damage than when the balloon res split up. It's just a weird little thing that happens in this fight. It doesn't really happen anywhere else, but it just kind of happens here. A couple more balloon res and he should be done. That one should kill him.
There's another fight that is way faster by just spamming balloon res than just like trying to hit him with your Keyblade. You're
meant to like block fire back at him and use commands, and he runs at you and he sits in like your face, and that's when you're meant to hit him.
Yeah, like you might have noticed there's a damage gauge in the top left, and it's like, no, he did nothing.
Alright, so now I'm going to do a quick menu here. Put on Put on the dream candies. So I pick up 2 more dream candies in this world to use them. There's one up over here. There's this chest down here is a wonderful dream candy for us, nice and free. So there's some more enemies up here that I need to kill. The only enemies that tend to live are the Chef Kairus. So I'm gonna go. Those 2 frogs tend to live. And they're very, very annoying. And they're very, very annoying. Stop doing that, please. That's fine.
They're just proving you right.
Yeah, they're just proving me completely right. That's fine. So now I get to super glide up some stairs. You know, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've been gliding upwards a lot this run, and I'm like, sure, whatever.
Sure, that works.
Oh yeah, I remember this part of the story. Like, what?
Yeah,
We're not going to get to see it, but...
Oh, nice spirit roll. So I'm going to go around here. I'm going to guesstimate where I am.
We Donkey Kong now.
I was right, dude. Hell yes. Oh, then I messed up the movement. No! Do you want to know what that was? That was a premature yeehaw if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Failed at the last step.
So this fight's kind of annoying because, you know, you're in a room where where Bloomers burst and everything. But hopefully everything goes well. Okay, he got me out of my magnet or whatever. I'm going to try and move over here to grab them all in that.
There we go.
And there you go.
Nice.
Kind of a bad start, but a really good end. Alright, so. And then the good music starts again. I don't know why I always do that. I always try to reset the deck by pressing the wrong button. Right, so this is another place where we pick up some EXP Asura. In place of doing portals, we just go here. Kill these enemies here. Oh, thank you for the spirit roll, lads.
The spirit roll increased magic damage.
Yes, it basically doubles it.
Nice.
I go over here. Pick up that drink candy. I probably didn't need to pick that one up, but whatever. Consistency, right? I'm basically going to stop Mickey from drowning. That's kind of the point of this bit. Because, you know.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weirdly dark, this section of the game. Like
a family picture, right?
Like, I'm trying to think exactly. He's like locked inside a jail cell that's slowly filling with water. Is that right? I think.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, Mickey's going to literally drown.
Yeah, because he's too short. That's literally the reason, because Mickey is
like
short. Which I'm just like, wow.
But don't worry, we're fast, so we'll save him.
That's cool. So this fight used to be like 2.5 minutes long, right? Because we had to kill all the elephants. Nah. Nah, it's over now.
No. Nice 2.5 minute time save.
It was like 1.5 minutes. 2 minutes is like an over-exaggeration. But it was a long fight, because elephants have a lot of HP. So before we discovered like comet stuff, like we did a lot of dumb stuff. Command deck. Then I put slow on. Look at that, another non-balloon command, right? Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah, as soon as I saw you buy slow, I was like, what are you going to use that for?
I use it for the boss in this world. You get to see a good boss. Alright, so I use the 2 dream candies there to refill the bath, so I can use Comet one more time. Because I need to grab some EXP from the opera. So I kill the T-Rex here, the Wonderwall Tyranto-Rex. As soon as like you kill the T-Rex, I didn't mean to use slow, but whatever. As soon as you kill the T-Rex, the rest of the enemies spawn, so you can just kind of go kill them as they spawn in, grab all the XP.
Level 12 Asura now.
Level 12 Asura, so now I'm going to go drift these guys. I'm actually going to use slow on these guys because it makes them fall a bit slower as well. Gives you more of a chance to smack them.
Dinosaurs, that classic Kingdom Hearts enemy.
Dude, I'm low on the XP, it's fine. There's enemies here that I can kill. I don't know why I'm low on EXP. I don't know why I use 0. Grabbers are there. It's fine. Yeah, I'm level 13 now. That's fine. You usually get the level up from there. I guess I was just short on EXP Asura. There's not a lot you can do about that. It just happens. I need to change my Dreamy around. Because I no longer need Sudoneku in my party, so now I double my chance of getting, So now I double my chance of getting some Spirit Rolls now by putting in 2 Magic Lapins. So I'm just going to try and stay away from these guys. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm looking for the image that is in the golden frame here. It sometimes appears right at the start, sometimes appears right at the end. It's not really in your control. I'm blocking before so I don't accidentally use any commands because I'm playing on the English version. It's just a way to stop it from doing it because you can't block and use a command at the same time. It's just a way to stop it from needing commands. Right, so now Pete jumps down, and Pete's the reason why I put slow into my deck. Because Pete's affected by slow. So I'm now going to go ham with balloons, and I'm going to try and not die, because Pete does a lot of damage. And I'm just going to try and avoid him. Oh,
wait, what?
Oh, he glitched out because I used slow on him as he was going into his desperation move.
He fell through the floor,
man.
man.
Yeah, that happens when like you use slow on him before going into his desperation move. It's one of those things that just happens. The DM waits about 20 to 30 seconds, depending on how much health he has left. He DM'd so early, dude. Wow.
Can you skip that DM?
Yeah, you can get DM-less if you get a good enough fight.
Yeah.
But he can just run into it. You can't stop him from doing it.
Yeah.
See how much damage I'm doing with Spirit Roll? So he's dead now. 1 DM is actually not too bad. That was a really, really good end to the Pete fight.
Nice.
Right. The way that enemy spawns work in KH1 is if you go 2 rooms away, they will respawn. And if you're looking for a specific spawn of a rare Heartless, you can go 2 rooms away and then back in and out the room that you need to go through to spawn the one that you need. A bit of KH1 trivia while we're playing some DDD. Right, so another reason why we went to Sora's current to the Musketeers first is obviously to get level ups. You don't fight anything in this world apart from the boss. So that's another reason why we do it in this order, so we get the level ups. And it actually makes this boss like slightly less trash, but the next boss is pretty bad. I'm gonna slowly grab these because I need the points. So you can get bonked here and you can be fine, but it's kind of annoying. I can't believe I dodged that.
Yeah, that was good.
So now I just use laser spin. I hate laser spin as a thing against enemies. He did the faster, dude.
Faster, man. Faster.
Right, so we used to think that you had to go down every single one of these rings of tons of points, but no, you can just kind of collect 2 of them, go down this one, and you get an A rank.
Nice.
In before I get a B rank and get shown up. Oh no, A rank.
Boom, A rank. Perfect every time. Easy.
Alright, so now I now get to another menu with Sora. So in the shop in Country Musketeers with Riku, I actually picked up a collision magnet. And I finally get to use it here. I did change my keyboard, good. I didn't mean to not dodge roll and guard. So I brought Collision Magnet because Collision Magnet is very, very useful on the boss of this world. I'll get into it when I'm at the boss. But now we get to enjoy the good music while I'm just chilling.
Yeah, we're chilling, but this time
Chilling,
in
dude.
the sky rather than in
Do you
want
wanna
to
go, Paul? What? I keep going? Okay, cool. Right, so I'm just doing some more mini games, and Sora gets to ride up some rainbows in this. I'm going to land here, and I'm going to try and do something. So you can skip this flow motion thing by super gliding through it. Like this.
Wow.
It's just kind of cool. I don't really think it's faster, but it just looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. It just looked kind of like cool, so I do it.
Every time you debate me with that music mini game.
Yeah, dude, I bait you because you're like, he's pressing a button.
Yeah, because I don't know which is the last one, so it's like, oh, I missed.
May I interject with a few incentives?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So, coming up in a couple of hours is the Resident Evil Remake 2 run, and we have a couple incentives for that. One is a bid war for the costume choice. Currently in the lead, it's Noir with $35, followed by Alternative with 5. Everything else is on 0, so if any of the other costumes, or even the leading ones, are catching your eye, get those donations in for those. We also have the soundtrack choice, which between classic and the remake soundtrack, everything's at 0. So we do not know which soundtrack we're going to do, so we might just, mute the gameplay, worst comes worst. So get those donations in if you want to hear some music during the Resi 2 remake run.
Cool. So now in this room, I'm going to go do these reality shifts, and what this will do is this will light up the room. That's actually one of the ones that like you can miss 2 on and you're fine.
Right, yeah. And it makes it all nice and lovely.
Yeah. And then it's horrible over there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something else about the attacks that come out of reality shifts. Again, they're based on your strength stat, which is really weird for some reason. Like this is based on your strength stat, if it hits enemies.
All right, that is weird.
Yeah. I don't know why they made some of the design choices that they made in this game, because that's one of the weird ones. Is I can understand. I can't really. I can kind of get why Comet's based on your strength stat, but kind of not, because Comet's technically using a spell. I love it when you get a spirit roll there.
Like in Final Fantasy, Comet is a spell. So.
Yeah.
Are all links based on strength? Maybe that's it.
Yeah, they are basically.
Yeah.
So now we get to go to the boss. It saves 0.4 seconds per time you do it, bro. I'm saving half a second every time. Right, so this is the worst part of the, one of the worst bosses in the run. This is Spelican. So I have to chase down Spelican here, and Spelican's moves kind of got messy on 60 FPS. So these orbs are faster. You have to dodge them in really, really weird ways. And he can do either that or rocks. And he can choose to do it in whatever order he wants. He's probably going to... I just kind of have to... Yep, and then... dodge them like that. I can't attack him yet. Got him. That's a very, very hard thing to do sometimes, because he'll just get away from you. Right, so Zero Gravigo works on this guy, so I was going to use that. I'm going to use 3 balloon rows, and then he's going to try and teleport. So I'm going to use Collision Magnet on him, because that also affects him.
Nice.
And the reason why we pick it up is because Collision Magnet hits him out of teleport, like that move there. Hits him out of that move. Dude, I'm getting spammed with Spirit Rolls. Thank you, buddies. So I'm going to use some of them. There you go.
Yeah.
Bring him down over here.
Just like get over here.
Literally, I get to get over here on him.
Yeah.
Don't you dare do that move. That move summons a bunch of brooms, and you have to kill all the brooms. I chose to do the combo there to kill him because A, I knew it was kill, and B, the balloon recast might have taken a bit too long. But yeah, that boss can go horribly wrong because he can teleport to any place in the battle arena, and he can choose to do that move that I killed him while he was doing at any time. So it's really, really frustrating to deal with that boss. That was actually a very good fight, but specifically because my Dream Eaters were like, yeah, have some Spirit Rolls. Do it. You'll be good.
Yeah, like that was definitely really fast compared with my casual run. Because yeah, that boss is so annoying. He just teleports everywhere.
Yeah, and that's why we grabbed Collision Magnet. We actually found Collision Magnet kind of by accident, because someone was like, well, not by accident, someone told a runner while she was routing NG plus Balloonless, like, yo, grab Collision Magnet, it works in Spellican. And we were like, yeah, sure. And we knew it did, but we used it in a teleport and it hits him out of it. And we were like, what? We were like, what is this? Right, so the start of this one is this is the worst dive boss in the game. If I'm going to B-rank any of them, it's going to be this one. This one's very, very easy to B-rank. So...
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
So I'm just kind of mashing X, praying I'll get some hits in. I'm not going to get a one cycle because I've whiffed too many hits, so it's fine. That's fine. That's I can live with getting a 2 cycle with that amount of health left. This is like the worst one.
Yeah, it looked like Rebel was just like randomly missing, but then it is like it barely don't have control.
Because this boss moves around so much. And then you have to kill this bit again, and this bit can decide to do a random move where it like the one that the first one did, where it kind of like, okay, please. And
Oh my
yeah,
god, that's
3 cycle.
just,
Yeah,
is,
I told you. This fight is like actually awful.
it's like you can line it up perfectly like you were, and you're right against the boss, and the game's just like, no, I'm not gonna actually let you hit it.
So now, yeah, that's what this boss does sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get 1 cycle on this boss, but it's like incredibly hard to do. And your movement has to be like really, like your like mashing not only has to be good, but you have to get lucky with the positions that the boss is at. So you get like 2 minutes and 10 seconds to get an A rank there. So you get enough time to get a 4 cycle there and be fine.
Alright, okay, so the A rank isn't in danger really, but obviously
It is
still
in danger
time
if like, oh look, there's my dive wing. You get dive wing for A ranking all the dives.
Nice, nice.
Which is very, very nice. So now the game force drops me to Riku. That's why I didn't drop to him to do anything. Because the game force drops me about here. Where is it? It's around here. There it is. I grabbed a magic gain level 1 here. So that will come into effect in a second if I decide to do what I'm probably going not to do. So, oh, and to contrast Sora's really, really dumb dive, Riku gets a very, very easy dive for the last dive in the game, where there are no enemies. There's just you just got to collect some points and avoid some obstacles. So, I spoke earlier about Overcast. I've had it once. I think I had it. I didn't check, but you know, obviously because I just was going. So, Overcast increases your magic damage by 1.5 times. It also increases the amount you take by 1.5 times, but that's not really a factor when you die in a few hits anyway, because we're low leveled. Oh god. And so what a few runners started to do a while ago in this world is they would continuously drop between Sora and Riku until they got good RNG and got Overcast. I'm not going to do that because you can sit here for like ages doing that. But if I have it on my list, I'll go for it. If I don't, I won't go for it. There's my dive wing as Riku. So if it's in the 3rd slot, I'll drop and grab it. If it's not, I won't. Oh, it is. Hell yes.
Let's go.
I should have changed all my Keyblade stuff there, but whatever. So, dive wing. Put on Kyoraga. Cure. And I changed my deck to automatically default to the top Balloonera, so I don't do anything. Let's see if I have it with Sora. No, I don't have it with Sora. So if I had it with Sora as well, that would save even more time, but I don't have it with Sora, so it's fine. So the end of this game, you either play through Sora's bit or you play through Riku's bit, depending on where you have the Overcast, if like you see it. So you don't always have it, but it's kind of like something that you look out for. So because I got it with Riku now, I'll have it for his entire stretch of endgame, which is very, very useful.
Yeah, we got a lot of bosses, like as is tradition in Kingdom Hearts.
There's a lot of bosses. Sora gets one endgame boss, but Riku's like, yeah, sure, I'll have like 6. Don't worry about it. Is it 6? Yeah, it's 6. 6.
Yeah, I mean, Sora's about to become a potato in the story, so...
Yeah. There's a cutscene there. Right, so this thing actually launches you up, but it takes a while to trigger, so, you know, I'm going to go and just slow motion up it, because it's slightly faster than waiting for it, and also you can not fly 10 feet up into the air, and just kind of clip up there like that, saving a couple of seconds. Oh, this is the worst minigame.
Yeah. So again, a minigame that really obviously was designed for the touchscreen. You have to destroy all 4 chains in 3 or less swipes.
Yeah.
So you have to get at least the light bits of the chain.
You at least have to get a double.
Yeah.
It depends if you've got overcast, if they're long. Basically, Riku has just 6 bosses in endgame. Sora only has 1. It gave me the same one again. Please stop. Since I've already failed one, I'm worried that I'm going to fail the one on Young Master Xehanort. Because I'm known for doing that. That loses like 50 seconds.
Do not do that.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I have overcast. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just going to super glide through the rest of this till I get to the boss. So if you've got anything you want to talk about, Paul, go ahead.
Just a second. Hey, there we are. So, we would like to thank you all for watching the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering. It's a 2-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year, and we're coming to you live from Glasgow, Scotland. We're raising money to support Young Minds, charity leading the fight for a future where all young minds are supported and empowered, whatever the challenges. Your donations help them to make sure young people get the best possible mental health support and have the resilience to overcome life's difficulties. The recent survey from Young Minds found that on average, 3 students in every classroom have some kind of mental health issue. So all your donations will be going to helping out children that need it to help them get the best education they can. And we can't thank you enough for donating all that. We are almost at $1,000, just $116 away. We can make it happen within the next hour, I think. So get those donations in while you can.
Oh, really, Dream Eaters? So yeah, this is Xemnas. Xemnas kind of bodies your Dream Eaters. Yeah, so I'm just kind of going to go ham on him, and he can kill you very, very easily, so I'm just going to try and not die. Oh, that's going to be a Spirit Rock.
Yeah, so we've dedicated 2 slots in our deck to curing, just because we get bodied so much.
Yeah, you take a lot of damage. He also has a move that like can easily kill you if he feels like it. Also, he can summon a shield around you. So hopefully I get another Spirit Roll here. He can DM around now, so yeah, that's the DM. So I'm going to use this move here, because the Dream Eaters like to run into the buildings and get bodied. And they take a lot of damage and lose their affinity, so I just sit here for until this building here passes me. And then I cancel it. There's 2 more buildings that come. They'll just bounce towards it and get bodied.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, dude, they take...
Yeah,
because,
they almost died.
They take more damage from dark attacks, and the buildings are dark attacks.
Right.
So,
yeah, buildings are dark type, by the way.
So, there's actually a route you shift it. I don't do it, because if you do it, you get... Xemnas gets super armor for the rest of the fight. I'm going to go back here, because the Dream Eaters can't really cast Spirit Roar on you unless they're, like, in your face. Oh, please stop.
Spirit Roll, let's go.
There we go. As you can see, he's hit me out of Balloon Res, and I'm like...
Yeah, it is like double damage.
Yeah, and they should die now.
There we go. Nice fight. Yeah, it's a pretty hard fight.
Yeah.
Normally.
He has a move where he rings around you with bullets, laser bullets, and if you're not at full health, that move can basically one-shot you. I say one-shot because it combos you if like, you get hit.
Yeah.
So
It's like a Zemnis signature move where
Yeah.
he surrounds you with bullets and they all fly at you at once.
yeah. Right. So now Sora's completely gone because Sora's been taken out of the story now. So the reason why I did Sora there is because it saves another drop. So Riku now has Overcast fully for the rest of his final fights, which makes his final fights really, really fast.
Yep, Sora's made kind of a mistake, so Riku's coming to save him.
I'm gonna do that. Cool. That was one of the easy
Nice.
ones. There's a couple where you can just mash X depending on the layout you see.
Right, yeah.
I don't remember which one it is. My brain goes, I know it, and then presses it because I've got the muscle memory for it now.
Yeah.
But there's one of the ones where they crisscross each other. Oh, I should have Asura grab his arm for a couple of seconds. It's fine. So I have to kill a few enemies in this next room to get to level 15. Usually I use Zero Gravizer on these guys, but I've got Overcast, so it doesn't really matter if I don't have it. Oh, and they're giving me a Spirit Roll.
Oh yeah, the damage is real.
There you go, there's level 15.
Nice. Oh.
Riku, please. I'm actually going to Cure, so... Really? You didn't get hit by the move. That one takes forever for them to line up, so you do the 3, then the 1.
Yeah.
So I drop down the hole. Use that. Yeah. So,
Nice.
we actually used to pick up the Kuraka chest that's in this room. But obviously it's faster to just buy a Cure and use that instead because obviously there's an animation you have to sit through. And also, there's a battle portal that can appear on it. I don't know why. It's one of the only chests where a battle portal can appear on top of it. So because the battle portal appears on top of it, we can't grab it from the front. We have to run to the side to grab it. Because if you try and talk to it from the front, the battle portal just goes, do you want to do the battle portal? And I'm just like, no, please stop.
Yeah.
So we stopped grabbing it, obviously for that reason, and obviously because it skips having to sit through the animation of
Open the
picking up the thing.
chest, Yeah.
Let's go that way. Yeah. Fuck. That wasn't the one which I thought it was.
Yeah.
You have to move it up slightly to get that one, which I didn't do at the right time. There's one where they line up exactly perfectly right at the start and you can just mash through it.
Was it just RNG which pattern you get? at the
Yeah, like all reality shifts are just kind of random, like which ones you get. We don't really pay attention to it half the time because we just, oh, it's a reality shift.
time? Yeah.
That one you have to do in 2 now, that's fine. That's another one if you moved up slightly, I could have, that's the same one as the one I just had.
Yeah.
I could have moved up slightly and waited for it, but it's easier just to do it like that. There's one more of these orbs I've got to do, so not much left on killing orbs. So the reason why I'm doing the ground pound before hitting it is because it gets rid of the little orbs around that shoot lasers. And one ballooner into 2 hits will do that.
Yeah, same pattern again, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same pattern
Yeah.
3 times in a row. By that time, dude, you're just not expecting it. You just kind
Yeah,
of
it's
got to
like-
react.
You know, it's
Well,
the no
on the fly.
mix-up.
It is indeed the no mix-up mix-up. Go through that door. So I'm going to do some more flow motion through this. Oh god. I failed Flora's Lava, no! We have a little meme amongst all the people that ran DDD on 3DS that you had to get through this room without ever touching the floor. And you were a real speedrunner then. But I just failed it, so obviously I'm just a scrub. Oh, I failed it right at the end as well. So I would have failed it anyway. That last bit of movement's actually really hard to get if like you want to do it like that. Because A, you've got to stick really, really close to the floor, but then also you've got to like actually land on the lift. Also, these pipes are very finicky on the English version on PS4. Like that. This one's the worst. Trying to get on this one is kind of annoying. Also, the camera doesn't reset here sometimes.
Yeah, that was weird. Sure.
You can actually, I usually do that I move into this blind, but I didn't hit the wall at the right time.
Yeah.
Right, so this next boss fight is known as the coin flip fight in the DDD community, because this guy can just kill you if he decides he wants to kill you. He has a move that drains you to 1 HP, which he can just do randomly. So hopefully I get Spirit Roar at the right time and he just gets absolutely obliterated. And the reason why it's bad because you have to drop down to the floor before you can move again. He should die even if he does the move now. There you go. That was a really good fight.
Nice, nice.
So that was a very, very good fight. He didn't do the move. Actually, I think he did it right there, but but he was dying. It launches you up in the air, drains you to 1 health, drops a bunch of HP orbs, and then you have to drop down before you can cure. And one thing about that boss is he can pick up HP orbs and actually heals him, so, you know.
That's not fair. Here, bosses aren't allowed to heal.
I play BBS, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I messed up because I was over a cure. You're just meant to balloon her at the start of the fight and you knock him out of whatever move he's deciding to do.
Yeah, I think we just skipped the cutscene where Anthem says, "Darkness within darkness."
Oh, yes, yeah, no, that is in this game, actually.
Yeah,
sorry.
it is, yeah. It's right, that cutscene, isn't it?
I'm going to cure my Dream Eaters because,
Yeah.
as you saw, they didn't get cured between the fights, but I did. So I, usually on some categories, you don't put this back so then you have a floor. I put it back so you have a floor in New Game Plus because then you have a chance of getting Spirit Rolls from like your Dream Eaters. Well, I'm stun locking them anyway, so it doesn't really like matter. Oh, that's fine.
Nice.
So right after that fight of Ansem, we go into another fight of Ansem, but he's in his little ball of darkness with the Guardian on top. Because you know that makes wonderful sense. Yes, darkness within darkness. This is legitimately darkness within darkness.
Yeah, well, that's where we are right now. Is darkness within darkness.
Yeah.
Within darkness within darkness.
Within darkness within darkness. And now this guy, you just kind of sit in front of him and go ham. Hopefully I get a. Oh yes, there we go. So if you get this reality shift, you have a chance of skipping his desperation move, or which is kind of very, very hard to get. You only get to see this reality shift if you do like a ton of damage right at the start of the fight. Didn't we do that? That's fine. As you look how much damage you do.
Yeah,
I do like.
I mean, Balloonra is just ridiculous.
Oh, there we go.
Like,
And a Spirit Roar. Look at this. This one
yeah,
should
here
kill.
we go. Oh, nice.
There we go. Actually destroyed him. And shout out to the fact I'm still level 15.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I'm level 15 right now. I also beat Sora's final boss at level 13. So, usually if you got here as Riku before like doing Sora's bit, you would go through this door and the game would drop you to Sora because you can't go through this door without beating Sora's bit. Because this is where the story kind of continues on. So now I get to go into one of the final bosses, which is Young Master Xehanort. I'm going to spin the camera for
Yeah, this
no
is
reason.
where the Dream Eaters are like, you can do it, Riku. You can save Sora.
You got it, bro.
You got it. And,
We
it's
did
like,
it. And basically the end is we did it. Reddit.
yeah.
Oh, and this fight he just kind of goes ham at you, and then you just kind of have to like balloon her blindly half the time. So I'm just gonna keep going. He has a few moves that you can do that are kind of scary. Whip's kind of scary. Frost Wall's kind of scary. But because of the Dream Eaters I get a couple of Blizzard screens which makes Frost Wall not as scary. That should kill him. There we go. So now I have a reality shift that I have to do here. If I fail this reality shift, I have to do that part of the fight again. So I'm gonna concentrate for a second. Cool, got this one. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Right, so I'm not out of the woods yet with the time bit, so this bit's kind of like free on beginner. But this second bit is also timed, so I'm going to run forward, I'm going to use 2 balloon rows. Even when he doesn't have the HP bar up, he still takes the damage on these 2 balloon rows. Oh, he didn't take it damage from the first one. That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to go jump up and balloon row. Balloon row. He's got one more of these guys that will come out, and then I'm actually going to cure just so I don't get bodied. Hopefully it gives me cross slash, because cross slash is hilarious. Oh, he gave me fire pillars. This move's awful. It's fine though. He's going to die here now, so you know. Thank you for the spirit roll right at the end of the fight, guys.
They're helping.
They're helping, bros. They're helping.
They're helping.
Giving them the clap for the backup right at the end. They're like, you can do it, man. You can get the last one hit.
Yeah.
Alright, so I have one more boss that I'm going to go fight now. So I have to tag 30 Soras while falling down here. So I'm just going to kind of like dash into them. A bunch of anti-Soras up here and try and stop you from doing this, but it's pretty free still. There's more than 30 Soras here, so don't worry if I miss some. There's still 30. There's still way more than 30 like coming down here. It's just a percentage of them you have to nab. Oh, thank you for doing that. Oh, please.
Yeah, no balloon percent is actually a category. Rebel mentioned it before.
Yeah, there is a category for balloonless. Now I can kind of just sit in the middle and go. We actually do something hilarious in balloonless though. We grab all the windmill commands and icebreakers and we just spin on everything. We just spin on all the enemies. But the issue with strength-based decks is it's really hard to do the final fights with strength-based decks.
Yeah, like the bosses are so relentless.
Right, so this is Armored Ventus Nightmare. So I'm this fight is the epitome of I balloon blindly and hope he dies fast.
Yeah. Nice spirit roll. Yeah, something about Ventus like protecting Sora's heart.
Also, he has super armor during this bit, so he can just kind of go ham on you and not really care about what you're doing. So I'm gonna actually have the kill now, so I don't die. That move's actually probably one of the scariest ones. I hate this move. Please stop doing it. And also, whenever he white rooms, all your Dream Eaters disappear as well. Please don't kill me. So you can't get any spirit rolls and stuff, and you don't get any of like their support. He should die in a second. Cool. He's going to go to the middle now. Thank you for the spirit roll right at the end. So time's coming up. So he sits here for like a couple of seconds on the English version. On Japanese, he attacks you like straight away. But now I just kind of mash. We get a nice like Dragon Ball Z moment right at the end. And time is the
gameplay
last.
right now.
And time is when this hits and time. Yeah, so that was Dream Drop Distance, guys. Quick shout outs to a lot of the DDD runners. The current DDD runners are there's Dorna, Zantatsuken, sometimes Velo. They've all been trying to keep this game like somewhat active in amongst themselves. I don't run this game as actively as they do. If you watch me, I'm either playing Birth by Sleep or Sonic 06. There's like no in between. Did you have to go? Alright, I'm gonna skip that because there's like 60 minutes of credits. It's no use. But yeah, also shout outs to the old Dream Drop Distance racing crew. They're still awesome. You feel free to cut me off now. That's pretty much done for good old Dream Drop Distance.